morning, dear students. Today I shall start Wet in the Forest by DKL, means D.K. Lahiri Chaudhary. D.K. Lahiri Chaudhary was a former professor of English, is an elephant expert. He has journeyed over thousands of miles in the forests of India in quest of the elephant. He has published many books on elephant. He was expert, he was a specialist, he knows more and more about the less and less about the nature of the elephant, about the behavior of elephant, about elephants' eating habits. Okay, that's why he puts here in this story an essay his personal experience about elephants. Let us start. In April 1991, the East Medinipur Forest Division in West Bengal sought the help of the wildlife wing of the forest department. A young tusker means an adult male elephant with tusks. A young tusker accompanied by a herd of more than 50 elephants was injured and could not walk. An adult male elephant with a tusk was injured, but he was in the herd of 50 other elephants. So it was very difficult for the veterinary doctor to cure him. This was the problem with the veterinary doctor. A young tusker accompanied by a herd of more than 50 elephants was injured and could not walk well. All attempts to drive away the herd were unsuccessful. The veterinary doctor tried their best to remove the herd so that they can cure the elephant who was injured. But all their attempts to drive away the herd were unsuccessful, as the herd, after being driven away, invariably means always, came back to rescue their injured teammates who was lagging behind. The injured elephant was lagged behind, so the other 50 elephants who were in the group, he stopped there or came back to give support to the injured elephant. That's why it was a problem for the vet doctor to cure them. He arrived at the rest house of Bisunpur Forest. There were three of us: S.C. Day, Chief Wildlife Warden of the state, Subrata Chaudhary, officers specializing in tranquilizing animals, and I, a hanger-on. We arrived at the rest house of Bisunpur Forest. The writer with his team reached at the rest house of Bisunpur Forest. There were three of us. In that group, 3 persons were there. First one, S.C. Day, who was the Chief Wildlife Warden of the state. Wildlife Warden means the person responsible for the wildlife in particular region. Means S.C. Day was the person responsible for the wildlife in a particular region, in that region of Bisunpur Forest. Second one was Subrata Chaudhary, officer specializing in tranquilizing. Tranquilizing means making a person or an animal calm or unconscious by giving them a drug. Because to cure an elephant, a tranquilizing should be given to the animal through a dart, through a gun. And I, a hanger-on. And the writer was hanger-on. Hanger-on means a person who follows others in a group without having any particular part to play. It was getting uncomfortably hot. Slowly and slowly, the sun was going up and was discharging heat. So it was very difficult for the vet doctors group to remain there in the forest for a long time. It was getting uncomfortably hot. They were feeling restless due to the heat of the sun. Though it was only the middle of March, the herd and the injured elephant were constantly moving. The herd and injured elephant were constantly moving. Hence, the local forest staff could give us no exact information about its current location. So it was very difficult for the local wildlife officers to give them an exact location about the elephant, because they were moving continuously from one place to another. We had just made a decision to inquire among the villagers. At last, all the three officers, S.C. Dey, Chief Wildlife Warden of the state, Subrata Chaudhary, officers specializing in tranquilizing animals, and the writer. All of them decided. They made a decision to inquire among the villagers, that they will talk to the villagers about the location of the herd of elephants. When a young man belonging to one of the local tribes approached, a local man came near the group of doctors and said he knew where the injured elephant was. He said that I knew the location of the injured elephant. As the animal was unable to move much, it was very difficult for the animal to move much. The young man was taking cut branches of trees daily to feed. That young man was cutting branches of the trees, and he was carrying that branches of trees and giving to the injured elephant to eat. We were enormously impressed. After hearing the news that is given by the local villager, the officers became very happy. Enormously impressed. Enormous, huge, excessive, tremendous, great, vast, colossal, gigantic means the officers were impressed very much. It was the area that was regularly ravaged. Means the area was regularly ravaged. Ravaged means destroyed by the wild elephants during the crop season. During the crop season, the area was enormously and regularly destroyed by wild elephants. The ones to suffer the most were the tribal people with their small plots of. The tribal people had a small plots of land. They grow their crop. Elephants came and destroyed their fields. So they were the most suffered villagers And yet, here was a young man looking after an injured elephant. We decided to track the beast the next morning. We decided that the next morning we will follow this local villager and try to reach the place where the injured elephant's exact location was. Our team was now joined by a veterinary officer. A veterinary officer joined our team later on, who had no previous experience of treating injured elephants. The veterinary doctor had no first-hand experience of treating injured elephants. Tame or wild means the elephant which was kept in the house and the elephant which was in the forest. Tame elephant or the wild elephant. The villagers' report said that the elephant had an injury in one of the front legs. According to the information gained from the villagers, the officers came to the conclusion that the elephant had injury in the front legs. Taking even one step was an agony for the animal, and to put one step forward was very difficult for that elephant. Next day, our jeep bumped across forest tracks and fields to the spot, where we found that a group of enthusiastic young men had already been. When we reached there on the spot, we found that a group of young enthusiastic villagers were waiting for us. They were very enthusiastic, they were very eager to help us. Yes, the injured elephant was there, all right. The injured elephant was there, the location was correct. They said, but it was in the middle of the herd. But the problem was that the injured elephant was there in the middle of the herd. So it was very difficult for the doctors to start the treatment of that injured elephant. It would be impossible to separate the animal from the herd and treat it. It was very difficult for the team of doctors to separate the elephant and start the treatment. After some deliberation, after some discussion we had a bright idea. A bright idea came in the mind of the team. If we first chase the herd away, the injured animal would surely lag behind the fleeing herd. Following that bright idea, they started chasing the herd of the animals. Those elephants who were very healthy, they started running fast. But the injured was lagged behind. Explaining our plan, we asked the assembled villagers if they would be able to chase the herd away from the spot. The officers told the villager that help them so that they can remove the herd of the elephants from here. Within a few minutes, the chase started. We could hear the herd crashing through the forest. After some time, the doctor's team heard a crashing sound, and that crashing sound was a signal that the herd of elephants started running from that place. The chasing party shouting and bursting crackers to remove the herd of the elephants from that place. They were using crackers and they were shouting loudly till the sound died away in the distance. Our next plan of action was to ask the enthusiastic villagers for help to locate our patient. Our next plan of action was to ask the enthusiastic villagers for help to locate our patient. After about half an hour or so, the two boys came running up and told us that they had found their elephant standing alone in one corner of the forest. Two boys came running. They informed the team of doctors that the injured elephant was standing in one corner of the forest. We set off for this spot in our jeep. In their jeep, the team of doctors started their journey to reach the spot where the injured elephant was standing. With our two friends as guides, they took two young villagers as their guides. Another 10 minutes and we were there. After 10 minutes, they reached there. The tusker was standing on a slight elevation, just across a depression created by a dry mullah. Mullah, a small stream. Near a small stream, he was standing there. Subrata was asked to prepare his syringe. The vet doctors and others told Subrata Chaudhary to prepare the syringe. His experience so far had been limited to tranquilizing mostly langurs, where time was not of the essence. He had therefore not thought of keeping the syringe ready, showing admirable calm. He spread a cloth on the ground, arranged all the files. Okay. Subrata was asked to prepare the syringe. The team of doctors ordered Subrata to prepare the syringe to make the elephant unconscious. His experience so far had been limited to tranquilizing most langurs. Langurs means genius of monkey. Means he had the experience of making unconscious to some langur